Hello everyone, welcome to our class. Today we start our new topic in this lecture for the standard 6 and our subject is general science. So, in last lecture we complete our second lesson and their exercise question answer. Okay. So, today we start our new lesson, that is a third lesson, diversity in living things and their classification. Okay. So, here this chapter we study by using some images and pictures. Okay, so see this carefully and also learn by heart. Okay, so here we start our this third lesson. So in this lesson first they give a question, that is, can you recall? Here they give us a question like that: in which sphere of the earth do living things exist? So first you should know about the spheres of the earth. That spheres of the earth we learn in our first lesson, that is natural resources. So here we know the which spheres are there of the earth. There are lithosphere, hydrosphere and atmosphere. Okay, and all living things, all this all made a biosphere. Okay, so here we see the question like that: in which sphere of the earth do living things exist? So in lithosphere as well as in hydrosphere, some living things are exist. Also we see some living things in the atmosphere also, that they are fly in the atmosphere. Okay, also some small microorganism also present in the air. So in that way we can say that all the spheres of the earth, that is the lithosphere, hydrosphere and atmosphere, all the spheres of the earth consist living things. So the graphical condition at different places, here we see this para, that is okay. The geographical conditions at different places on the earth are very different. Also we see how the earth or land on the earth is different at the various places. So in some places we know there are most of the earth surface is covered by water. Okay, also we see the percentage of this water and land also in the first lesson. So by this geographical condition means how the land is present at that place. So on place to place on the earth the geographical condition is different. So uh, due to this we find that living things exist in all these diverse conditions. Means according to these geographical conditions, means either they are in the lithosphere or hydrospheres. Depending upon these conditions, living things also shows diversity means variation, difference among themselves. Okay, so such type of differences or various types of living organism we see because of there are various geographical conditions are present at place to place. Okay, so when we live in certain places we adjust to the conditions there. Means our lifestyle or our habitat will be adjusted according to the environment or surrounding at which we are live. So in that way we adopt means we adjust our some habits or lifestyle with the surrounding. So various types of living things have survived because of their ability to adjust to themselves to the condition in their surrounding. Means we see variety of living things are present in plants, in animals. Okay, depending upon their places. So all these living things have a ability. Which ability? To adjust themselves. Means all the living things adjust themselves to the condition in the surrounding. Condition in the surrounding means where they are live. Means if some animals are live in the forest, some animals are lived at a in the water. So according to this condition they adjust their all the habitats and their lifestyle according to this environment. If we know that in desert plant, also in snowy region, how the animals and plants are adjusted to that surrounding, and due to this adjustment they can live with such type of surrounding. Okay, so here we see that all the living things have ability. Which ability? To adjust themselves to the condition in their surrounding. So here we complete this para. Okay, so how these geographical conditions are different, and due to this how there are diversity of living things we see. Diversity of living things means we see the variation in animals. There are various types of animals, also various types of plants also present on the earth. So here we see diversity in living things and their classification. We know all living things are classified in a plants and animals. So here we see only this type of living organism, that is plants and animals. So here we see, in the last para we also explain how this diversity in plants are seen. So first they gives us a question like this: can you tell this question? Okay, are the plants and animals that you have seen all alike? Means on the earth surface and all the region on the earth surface, are the animals and plants are seen are the same or alike? Means every and each plants and animals are not look like a same. They have some differences in their looking, that is appearance, how they look, how they eat. In that case, in that condition they are different with one another, their body shape. Okay, so in this way these plants and animals are different with each other. So here we see the next point: diversity in plants. Okay, so various types of plants are found in many places around us. So in our surrounding also, surrounding at our home. Okay, so in that region we see various types of plants. Okay, some plants are short, some plants are tall, some plants have flowers, some plants have doesn't have a flower. Okay, like this. Some plants like grass are short, means here we see their height of the plants. Some plants are very short, as like a grass, while others are tall. Some plants are tall like a coconut tree. Okay, and have a canopy. Then some plants grow underwater, means some plants are growing inside the water, and some plants are float on the water. Okay, so we find that some plants grow even in a deserts. Means here we see the different geographical condition. Which condition? Underwater, in the water, desert. These are the various geographical condition, and all these conditions there are we found some various types of plants. Moreover, we find that there is a lot of variety in the same type of plants. Means if we see the example of rose plant, mango plant, there are various variety of species of that plants we see. In mango also we see hapus mango, then Pairi, then Kesri mango, okay, Kesar. So, in that way, we also see the varieties of the mango trees, okay, means in the same plant, they also have a variety. For example, in rose plant, varieties of rice or wheat, means we eat daily, that is a roti and a rice. Okay, so these grains like rice and wheat, these also have variety. Also in market we see the various types of rice and wheats are kept in a grocery shop. So in this way these rice and wheats also have varieties in their types. Okay, also rose, types of roses means their color, their fragrance. So in that way roses are also different. Also mango trees we see, so mango trees also have a different flavor depending upon their type. So here we see there are the varieties of the plants also seen in the same plant. Same plant means in mango trees all the mangoes are not have a same taste. There are various types of mangoes having different taste, slightly different. All are sweet, but there are some difference in their taste. Also we see the roses, all the roses are not in a same color, they are in a various color, yellow, orange, then red, pink. So in that way in the color they have difference. Also their shape is also, some roses are very small in size, some roses are very big in size. So in that way there is a difference in the types of roses. Okay, so in this way we see the variety also seen in the same plant. Next we see Some plants grow even without stem, leaves, or roots. Means we know the parts of the plants. Which are the part of the plants? All the plants generally have this part, that is the root, stem, leaves, fruit, flower, okay, etc. But in some plants, what happen? They cannot exist, or they can there is absence of stem, leaves, or roots in some plants. Okay, so these are very different from ordinary plants. Means some plants are very different from the ordinary plant, because we know the ordinary plant have all these parts, that is stem, leaf, root, flower, fruit. Okay, so out of this, some plants doesn't have a stem, leaf, and root. So let us study this diversity among the plants. So here in this chapter, first we see the diversity in the plants. Means whole the chapter is covered by the diversity of living things. But in living things, here we see the diversity in plants and diversity in animals. Okay, like this, if we see this image, in this image also we see the various types of plant like this. Okay, various types of plants are seen in this image. Also we see the variety of animals in this image also. So in this chapter we start our diversity in the animal. Okay, so here we see the diversity, sorry, not diversity in animals, here we see the diversity in plants. So how the plants are diverse, or in which way they are different from one another. So if we see, I here explain how the plants are different from one another. If we see this image, some plants are in a grass, means they are in a short in height like this. If we see this, so here we see how the plants are different. If we see the by their height, how they are different from one another. So here we see the some plants are short in size like grass. Okay, some plants are present in a desert, that is for example cactus. Some plants are underground, under the underwater, like seaweeds. Okay, this image we see how the underwater plants, this is the seaweeds. Some are grass, that is a short in height. Some are found in a desert like cactus. Means some plants have such type of appearance. Okay, some plants uh, float on the water like lotus, and some are tall in height. Okay, and if we see the varieties of rose flower like this, we see the variety of the same plant, that is orange, white, red, and pink. So in this way we see same plants also have varieties in their species. So in this way we diversity in plants. Okay, so depending upon their nutrition, means method of nutrition, how can we distinguish the plants. So first we see depending upon the method of this nutrition. So first we see there are three types, main three types are there, that is autotrophic plants, heterotrophic plants, and insectivorous plants. So first we see what is the also we see here some examples of all these plants. Autotrophic plants, here they use as example of pomegranate. Okay, then pomegranate and hibiscus. First we see the autotrophic plants. What is the autotrophic plants? So plants make their own food in the sunlight. Such plants are called autotrophic food. If we see this image, in this image we see how the plants are prepare their own food by using this sunlight. This sunlight is captured by these green leaves of the plants, and with the help of chlorophyll and nutrients and water absorbed from the roots, with the and also carbon dioxide from the air, with all this content and with the help of sunlight, these green plants prepare their food by itself. So such plants we prepare their food, own food, by using sunlight. These plants are called autotrophic plants. So here we see the example of autotrophic plants, that is the hibiscus plant. Okay, then pomegranate plant, periwinkle plant. So these are the examples of autotrophic plants. Do you understand? So here I again explain what are the autotrophic plants. Autotrophic plants are the plants which prepare their own food by using sunlight. So here we see the by which process, by the photosynthesis process, all the plants or the green plants means which plants having chlorophyll in their leaves and in their body. So with the help of this sunlight, chlorophyll, these plants prepare their own food, means all green plants have ability to prepare their own food. So such type of plants are called autotrophic plants. Okay, example also we see pomegranate, hibiscus and periwinkle. The next type, that is the heterotrophic plants. So if we see what are the heterotrophic plants, so some plants are depend for their food on the other plants. So such plants we call heterotrophic plants. So here we see heterotrophic plant depends on the other plant for the food. Means this plant cannot prepare their food by its own. If we see this dodder, okay, this is the dodder, this wire-like structure. This is the dodder plant, and also again another plant is this greenish part on the tree stem. This is the Loranthus. These two are the examples of heterotrophic plants. These plants cannot prepare their own food by the using sunlight. So for the food, these plants are depend on the another plant like this. This dodder plant depend on this autotrophic plant for their food. So such plants we call heterotrophic plants. What are the examples? So examples are fungus, this Loranthus, dodder. These are the examples of some heterotrophic plants. Okay. So next we see third type, that is the method of nutrition in plants. Third one is the insectivorous plants. So first we see what are the insectivorous plants. The plants like the, if we see some plants here, they use as the example of some plants, it is the pitcher plant. Okay, these are the pitcher plant in various shape. Okay, so these pitcher plants, these are also cannot prepare their own food. Okay, so for fulfilling the need of their food, these are also depend on the other. Here they cannot use the other plants, but they use the other animals like insect. If we see this picture, this pitcher plant consume the insects, means if any insects go inside this pitcher plant's mouth, that is if we see the shape of this pitcher plant, it is like a jar like shape. Okay, this is the jar like shape, and above this there is a lid of this jar. This is the structure as like a jar. Okay, so when any insect is placed on this jar mouth, then what happen, this insect get stick inside this jar, and it cannot be comes out from this jar. So in that way these insects are captured by this pitcher plant, and they eat these insects by inside digest this insect. So these insects are used as a food for these pitcher plants. Means here we say that the plants like pitcher, they consume the insects as their food. So such plants we call insectivorous. Insectivorous means they eat the insects as their food. Which plants are they? Here if we see the example, that is the pitcher plant. It is the insectivorous plant because if we see this shape, it have a neck like structure, jar like shape. Okay, these plants have a jar like shape, and on the neck mouth of this, they contain a lid like structure. Okay, when the insect go inside this jar or place on this jar, then it insect go inside this jar, then what happen, after going inside they cannot comes out from this jar, they remain stick inside this pitcher plant, and here they get die, and after dying this plant consume this insect as their food. So such plants we call insectivorous plant because they eat insects by capturing them and use it as a food. So here we see the third type, insectivorous plant. So I again repeat what are the autotrophic, heterotrophic and insectivorous plants. So here we see plants. First one, autotrophic, that is the, which are the autotrophic plants? That is, plants make their own food in sunlight. Such plants are called autotrophic plants. Examples are hibiscus, rose, mango, tree. Okay. Then we see the second heterotrophic plant. Some plants like fungus, dodder, use the other plants for food and are said to be the heterotrophic plants. The next one is the insectivorous. These plants, like the peter, even consume the insects as a food, so they are called insectivorous plant. So in this way we see diversity in plants depending upon their mode of nutrition. Okay.